Hi everyone, it's great to be back. Thank you for bearing with me and for everyone who twisted my arm to come back and do some more app review videos. I've really enjoyed doing them in the past and super excited to get back doing them again. It has been a while since the last video, and that's due to a small hiccup in our recording schedule that affected about 550 million people worldwide. In serious note, I want to just start with a big thank you to everyone that was involved in the coordinated COVID-19 pandemic response, especially to our healthcare staff, who I know now are still facing low resources, burnout, and a humongous backlog of work that was generated by the pandemic. Thank you. On to our app reviews then today. Following a few meetings with patients and with some healthcare providers, I came to realise that there is a big market out there for apps that can support users with learning difficulties. And I'd like that to be the focus of our video today. We'll be taking a look at 4 apps which I think can be really helpful in this space. They include apps that support parents and carers of young people or service users with autism. They include apps that help with medication reminders, those that can help with healthy lifestyles, and those that can support those with learning difficulties to maintain healthy routines and manage the anxiety around those. Let's get started. The first app we'll take a look at then is Autism Parent Support, or Autism Support Parents Group, depending whether you're iOS or Android. It's a free app and we like those. And it scores 81% on the ORCHA app assessment, which means as far as health apps go, you know it can be trusted for its accessibility, its data security, its technical standards, etc. Even though the focus is on parents, really this app can support any carers of an individual with autism, whether they're a child or an adult.
This app works as a social media platform really for carers of individuals with autism. Like most social media platforms, you can view content posted by other users. You can hug, like, or comment on their posts. And you also have the ability to post some of your own content as well, sharing how you're getting on as a carer and some of the experiences that you've been having. You have the ability to connect with others that are near you through Meet Others. And you can actually end up typing in your location in order to connect with people that might be living near you at a particular point in time, and that might just help if you need some kind of face-to-face local support. I also like as well that you can go to the Q&A page where you can see lots of other questions that other carers and parents have asked, and you can also search this as a repository of information. So if you're having a particular issue, say for instance with diet, say, and trying to promote a healthy diet, you could search this, and you can search through the community responses to try and get some peer-to-peer support on how best to manage those problems. Alongside the Q&A, you can go to the resources page where there are a number of different articles written by experts or those with lived experience, giving you additional advice that you may find useful in your journey as a carer of somebody with autism. I think this is a great tool for clinicians to be recommending to parents or carers of those with autism. It can be a very difficult journey and it can feel lonely. And although some areas will have their own in-person support groups, if not, I think that using a digital tool like this can be a great way for people to feel supported.
The next app we'll look at, which again is a free app, is ELFy. Now, ELFy is a really simple, colourful app designed to support users with managing medication, specifically those designed to treat epilepsy, asthma, or mental health. It scored 66% on its ORCHA score, so again, you know it's a high quality app. And really this is designed for any type of user, but I think its user interface particularly supports those that might have learning difficulties.
As you can see very quickly from the app, we've got lots of bright colours and some very simple icons about the place. There's the ability to add your own details here in order to populate the app, as well as adding in any medication you might be taking, or any allergies that you might have. But importantly, this is kind of the main function of the app, is adding in medication reminders. So here I've set myself up as a profile, assuming I have asthma. I can add information about the inhalers that I take, and here I can just add when I want different asthma inhaler reminders to go off. So if I'm somebody that struggles with medication compliance, remembering when to take my medications and which ones, this may well help. If I click on this exclamation mark icon, I can see an asthma action plan, which again, very brightly colored, very simple, and may well just help me in self-managing my asthma. If I click on some of these, say the red zone for when my asthma is really poorly controlled, it will advise me to seek emergency help, as well as some things that I can do myself at home. And that's replicated throughout this action plan. If I go to the information tab, I can find some additional information on asthma, such as triggers or how to, some lifestyle factors and implications for living with asthma. And here you can see I can also do the same thing and have a similar experience for epilepsy or at the moment, mental health. If I swap then to epilepsy, you can see that the content changes. So now I can see the reminders for my epilepsy medication. I can see an epilepsy action plan here. Again, with the ability to see personalized advice depending on where I'm at with my epilepsy, and the ability to see additional resources for living with epilepsy. So overall, a really bright, colorful, easy to use app for those users that might have learning difficulties and also experience asthma, epilepsy, or a mental health condition.
Our third app is called COVID-19 Happy and Healthy by a company called Starfish Labs, which specializes in apps for patients or users with learning difficulties. It's another free app, and although the app it's got COVID-19 in the title, this is not just suitable for COVID-19. In fact, it's a great overall tool for supporting users with learning difficulties who want help with their lifestyle in general. So fitness, diet, sleep, emotional regulation. And I'll take you through some of the design features, but it's done in a very clever, simple, and engaging way.
As you can see, once again, we've got a really fun user experience here with a lot of color, a lot of symbols and pictures, which is very just engaging. If we click on each of these, you'll see that each section has some basic information there around the subject, in this case, physical activity, along with some Makaton-based symbols as well. So we cover here staying active, staying well during the COVID pandemic, sleeping, emotional regulation, and diet. If you need a bit more information for your user, you just click on the 3 dots in the grey circle at the top right hand corner, and that takes you to the same topics, but there's a little bit more information presented here, along with some hyperlinks away from the app. So this might be something that you work through, your user, your patient, or your family member, in order to support them with this material. So this is a pretty simple app really, but I think I like the simplicity. And if you're trying to encourage healthy behaviors at home for your patient, user or relative, I think this is a great tool to use.
Our final app then is one that I have covered before, and that is Brain in Hand. The Brain in Hand it scores 86% on its ORCHA score, so again, a high quality app. Probably one of the big differences though is that this is a paid app and it can be quite costly. So I say that anyone interested in exploring Brain in Hand, look to see whether you can access disability support allowance, EHCP funding, access to work funding, personal budgets, that kind of thing. And the developers are very open about discussing funding arrangements and whether they can support you with that kind of disability funding. But what I love about Brain in Hand is how guided it is and how holistic it is. And we'll talk through some of the features now.
Each user will meet with a coach one-to-one in order to populate a web platform with details about the user's daily routine. For each of the activities the user engages throughout the routine, they'll also be encouraged to identify challenges to that activity, or things that generate a lot of anxiety for the person. And with the coach, they'll identify useful strategies for overcoming these. This then populates a bespoke app for the user or the patient. And you can see here from my app, this is the diary. It looks a little bit busy, but this is all the different activities that I have coming up today and the time that they occur. You can see from the arrows going back and forward which are repeated actions and which might be one-off. And if I select just one of these, let's say I select morning routine, you can see here within morning routine, the coach has populated several different activities that make up my morning routine, along with the problems I have with each of those. So let's say I'm getting ready for the morning and I'm struggling to leave on time. I'd click on this and I can see the particular problems I tend to suffer when that prevent me from leaving on time. So let's say again, I click on I can't find my stuff. Then I've got some very simple strategies there that my coach and I have developed to help me overcome that. So you can see I won't go through all of these, but the same thing applies for each of these. If I say that another activity I have is meeting with my care worker, again, you can see I've identified some problems I tend to have with meeting my care worker and some strategies I have for managing that. In addition, there might be some other situations which might not form part of my routine per se, but which can occur on an ad hoc basis. And again, there's strategies for managing these. And the final thing I want to draw attention to is this icon in the bottom right hand corner, these 3 traffic lights. And this is a way just for me to flag up any crises I suppose I'm having in my mental or emotional health. So if I feel that I'm struggling, I can score green, amber or red. Green just gets added to my timeline to let everyone know that I'm doing okay. But I can also signal amber or red if I'm struggling. And if I trigger a certain number of these within a 24-hour period, then the Brain in Hand team will be alerted so that they can reach out to me and make sure that I'm okay.
So those are our 4 apps for today. Just to recap, we went through Autism Parent Support, which is fantastic for helping carers and parents of users with autism. We covered ELFy, an excellent user-friendly medication reminder tool. COVID-19 Happy and Healthy, an app designed to support users with learning difficulties with general lifestyle enhancement and improvement. And then we covered Brain in Hand, designed to support users with learning difficulties to manage their routines and the anxiety arising around them. If there's any other apps that you've come across, of course we can only cover a few of them in this video, please post down below so we can help our community find the best ones. But just be careful of what you're looking at out there. App stores aren't always the best place to find the highest quality apps. And especially as clinicians, I think we need to make sure we're only recommending the very best to our patients. Please subscribe as well to the channel, and then you can see any of the latest videos and articles that I'm kind of posting. I do have a website as well, www.tommicklewright.com, and I'll be posting more things on there as well. But fantastic to see you again today, and I hope to see you for the next video. Bye-bye.